Hey everyone, welcome to TYP. It's been a while, so I thought I would give an update on how things are going and how I'm doing. So I know a lot of you were concerned because it's been a few weeks since I've posted something. So let's dig into an update, right? So as you can see, I just got out of treatment yesterday. So I'm looking a little bit different. My face is very red. I have no makeup on because my skin is so sensitive right now. So you can see my cheeks are very, very red. This is a side effect of my chemo. So is my chest. And I'm hooked up to some stuff. That's me. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. But I guess about 2 months ago, we had to change my treatment protocol fairly quickly because I got my test results back and I had a little bit more growth, a little bit more chemo growth. So I changed from my cisplatin gemcitabine regimen to a new chemo for me called FOLFOX. And FOLFOX is actually a combination chemotherapy. And FOLFOX is kind of a portmanteau of fluorouracil, which I am hooked up to now, also called 5-FU, a vitamin that also starts with an F, and the Fox is Ox, actually, is a more traditional chemotherapy similar to cisplatin. It's called oxaliplatin. And oxaliplatin has some different side effects than the cisplatin did. So cisplatin still gave me these skin rashes, so that's not new for me. But I'm holding on to a lot of water today. I'm pretty puffy, actually a little bit swollen, which it is what it is, right? And oxaliplatin gives you a funny kind of neuropathy, which makes you really sensitive to cold stuff. So the more you're on oxaliplatin, the worse, or the longer you have these cold reactions. So normally for the first week after I get oxaliplatin, my fingertips are really sensitive to anything cold. So I can't reach into the refrigerator without gloves on or the freezer. I have to be careful that I'm washing my hands and taking a shower in really hot, in warm water, because if I feel cold, kind of just shoots from your fingertips up into your arms, kind of like you get shocks, like shocks of electricity. And if you drink or eat anything cold, especially drinking, if you drink anything warmer than room temperature, at least for the first few days, it feels very scratchy, almost like you swallowed something with glass in it, which isn't pleasant. And it can cause your throat to actually seize up and close temporarily, which is not a fun sensation. So I'm trying my best to avoid all cold things for a while. Luckily, it's summer here, and it's been like 90 degrees, so that part has been easy. But yeah, the no eating and drinking cold stuff and the reactions when you accidentally do, that is something new to get used to. That is weird. Also on this FOLFOX, I've just had a lot more symptoms, which is a huge reason why I haven't been posting a lot. Just because I've had a lot of side effects hit me with this type of chemotherapy. I'm much more nauseous than I used to be, so it's causing a lot of nausea, especially at night for me. I'm not able to eat what I used to eat. Just some more, not fun stuff. Throwing up on occasion, some anxiety, some tiredness, a lot of fatigue, skin reactions. But hopefully these are signs that it's working, right? So yesterday I saw my doctor, went over my symptoms, talked about how I was doing. He was very great about it. And this is my fourth infusion. So when I talked to my doctor, he said my blood work came back, and I've been having a hard time keeping up my platelets and my white blood cell counts so I can continue getting chemo. So when I went in yesterday, everything was wrong with my blood work, like everything. My protein levels were too low. My electrolyte levels were too low. My platelets were like 64, which normally the cutoff to get platelets when you have chemo is 100. So, after chemo, an off week, and then back this week, my platelet levels still hadn't recovered really where they should have been. My white blood cells were too low. So they said, we're going to give you chemo, but we're going to give you a smaller dose this time and see if that gives your body a chance to recover. And then we'll just check your blood work in another 2 weeks. So the chemo process is I go in there, I get my blood work done, that comes back. If I'm good to go, I sit and I get an infusion of oxaliplatin. That usually takes about 3 hours. And then at the end of that, they hook me up, a little handy dandy bag, to the fluorouracil. And I get that after my oxaliplatin and the vitamin. That starts with an F that I can never remember. After that's done and I get all my fluids, my electrolytes, whatever I need, they disconnect me from the pumps. They put this on me. It goes right into my port down here. I won't show you guys that. You'll have to go into my OnlyFans page to see that part. I'm just kidding. I don't have an OnlyFans page. Don't come at me. We don't need that. But I am hooked up to this little pump. You can see there's some tubing. And this is it. This is fluorouracil. And it's deflated now, but when you first get it, it's about the size of a softball. And it infuses over 3 days. It's supposed to infuse over 46 hours. And the way it works is that it's this little ball. And it actually works. It's not a pump, this one. Some people do have pumps. This isn't a pump. But the way it works is that there's a little heat sensor. And it's taped just to my stomach here. And it works with the heat of your body to infuse slowly. So the heat of your body actually sucks this through the tubing up into my port. And it infuses slowly over 46 hours. So because this also works with the heat of my body, I have to be really careful not to overheat myself. So they told me with this heat wave, not allowed to walk my dog while I'm wearing this. Not in 90 degree heat, not in 80 degree heat, maybe in like 50, 60 degree. That's okay. Not allowed to walk him while I'm wearing this. I can't get it wet, so I can't take full showers or anything like that. I'm supposed to avoid sweating. I can't sit in the sun. I can't sit in a hot car. So they basically just told me to, when I get this, relax for 2 days. Try to stay as room temperature as possible the whole time. Because if I get too hot, I will get more chemotherapy into here, a higher dose, and that's not good. It could lead to some chemotoxicity, too much at one time. So we don't want that, right? So that's another thing to watch out for. So I started this on Wednesday after my infusion of oxaliplatin and the vitamin, and I had a whole bunch of electrolytes and fluids go in me because everything was off this week. Everything was off. And then on Friday morning, I will get up and hopefully this bag will be shrunken down even further. So it won't even really look like a ball that much anymore. It'll just be like a tube, an empty tube kind of a thing. So they actually trained me to disconnect all of this myself. So on Friday mornings, when this is done and it's all worked well, I'm going to take all this tape off that's attached to me, clip everything, disconnect my tubing here, and then flush this with saline solution into my port, flush my port with saline, and then flush it at the end with a shot of heparin, which is a blood thinner that sits in my port up here and prevents clotting and prevents it from closing over for the next time. And then I take everything out, take my needle out, put it in a bag, all wearing gloves, by the way, and I drop it off at the hospital next time I go. So that part's been working out well, disconnect. It's actually fairly easy to do on your own. But like also the fact that, I've been getting chemo for 2 years. So I've seen nurses do hundreds of disconnects on me. So at this point, I've seen it enough that I know what's going on, right? What the problem has been for me with having this in for 3 days is that I will usually go to bed on Wednesday night, wake up on Thursday, and the past 3 times this has happened, I wake up on Thursday or on Friday or both, and I have knocked this needle out. And sometimes it hurts, and sometimes I don't feel it at all. And sometimes what I feel is wetness, dampness, because I've knocked it out, and my chemo is now spilling out of my Band-Aid. And then I have to run over to Fox Chase with and see the nurses and tell them my port's leaking. And they undo all this, put a new needle in, hook me back up, clean everything off, flush it again, and redo my bandages and send me home. That's happened the first 3 times. The first time I had to go back in Thursday and then again on Friday because I kept pushing my needle out at night when I was sleeping. And finally, yesterday, they gave me a longer needle. They went from 3/4 inch to 1 inch and gave me a heavy duty bandage and taped me all in there. And at least for now, knock on wood, I woke up this morning, it was still in, still comfortable. It's working okay. So fingers crossed that 4th time's a charm here and that I can keep my needle in until Friday morning when it's done. And I don't have to rush over there. I do have to go in Friday because my white blood cells have been so low. They decided to start me on injections of Neulasta, which is a booster white blood cells. So I do have to go in there on Friday afternoon and get a shot of Neulasta and be on my way. This should hopefully only be a couple minutes. But they think I'll probably have to do that with this chemo from now on until my body can adjust a little bit better. So that's been chemo. That's been what's happening on that front. So it's been a lot. I'm not going to lie. It's been a lot to get used to. It's been kind of a huge hassle. But, this is what we have to do, right? So as much as I hate it and as much as the complications are just driving me crazy and the side effects, I mean, I've only got to hope and pray that it's working, it's doing its job, it's fighting back my cancer and keeping it at bay so I can be here longer and be here for my family, That's what we got to hope for. And I did apply to, I think I talked about this a little bit in my last video, did apply to that drug trial down in Washington, D.C. It's run by Georgetown Hospital. It's for cholangiocarcinoma patients only. It's a very small study, giving people Keytruda and a PARP inhibitor, which is a daily oral medication. And I am waiting to hear back still from Georgetown. Essentially, they enrolled, it's a small study, they enrolled 16 patients. They are waiting to get the results back from the 16th, the last person they enrolled in the study. And depending on how that person is doing, if they're going to close the study up and call it quits, or if they're going to expand it to more people. So I should hopefully find out in the next 2 weeks if they're going to keep the trial, and if they're going to expand it, and if I could join. She did say, I did speak with the doctor in charge of that trial. She thinks I would be a good candidate for it based on my age and the fact that I'm relatively healthy, given the fact that I've been dealing with cholangio for 2 years now. I guess my tolerance is high, essentially. So we got that going for us, right? So hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll have some better news to report. I would really love to get into this drug trial. And if I get into this drug trial, chemo stops. And I go fully into this drug trial with Keytruda and this PARP inhibitor, and we see how it goes. People that respond to PARP inhibitors, cholangio patients, it can be a really good long-term solution for them. PARP inhibitors are used a lot with pancreatic cancer patients, and there are a lot of parallels between pancreatic cancer and cholangiocarcinoma, two very aggressive cancers that sometimes work on the same gene mutations. So we will find out, knock on wood, hopefully. And hopefully everything works, Let's keep the hope alive, right? That I can get on this drug trial with the PARP inhibitors. The PARP inhibitors do a great job, and I'm here for a while. That would be great, right? That's what we're all hoping for. So, I mean, that's the world of cancer care right now is, even us with dismal prognoses and, time stamps on our life, we're all just like hanging in there hoping that some kind of breakthrough is going to come through and help us out, help us live a little bit longer, help cure us, even if it can. So it's always good news to hear from these drug trials and see the good work that they're doing and hopefully be a part of that good work, right? If we can. So, yeah. I'm putting happy, positive thoughts out into the universe that I can get into this drug trial and it's going to work, right? And then I don't have to deal with this hassle of this chemotherapy for a little while. But, you got to do what you got to do no matter what. So if this chemo is working, then we're doing this for something, right? So thank you to everyone for hanging in. I'm sorry it's been such a long time since I've posted. I'll try and do better. And I think hopefully, after talking to my doctor yesterday, we're going to get some of my side effects under control. He really thinks that I'm much more nauseous than I should be. So prescribed me some new medications for that, gave me some new kind of protocols to kind of nip that in the bud. And I have to really up my protein in my diet because he thinks that's why I'm holding on to a lot of my fluids. Not enough protein in my bloodstream, keeping those fluids into my vascular structure instead of into my limbs and everything like that, my stomach. So hopefully that works as well. So if you guys have any more tips for easy ways to get more protein into my diet, please let me know. So this morning I tried to have eggs for breakfast. And for lunch I had some steel cut oatmeal and I put some peanut butter in there just to up my protein dose a little bit. Trying to eat a lot of fresh fruits and veggies as well. Trying to get my vitamins up. Because, oh my gosh, everything was low with my blood work yesterday. Everything. So I got to hopefully make some positive changes that can help me out for the next chemo regimens coming up. Because that was rough. We don't like that. So I hope you guys are all doing great. I hope that you're weathering this heat and this drought that we've been having seemingly across a lot of the United States. And if you're in one of those states with floods and stuff like that, oh my gosh, I hope you're doing okay. My heart goes out to you. There's been some scary stuff happening this summer, this year, past couple of years actually. forest fires and all that. My heart just goes out to you. Oh my goodness. So thank you for sticking with me. Hopefully I covered everything. Oh, also, I get a lot of questions about these guitars and these music posters. These are all my husband's. I don't play guitar, unfortunately. I do play the piano, and I played a mean clarinet back in high school, but I don't play the guitar. I sing a little bit too. So we are a little bit of a musical family, but he's the guitar guy and the band guy in the family. I wish I was that cool, right? So if you have any more questions for me, you'd like to reach out, please send me an email, terminalyetpurposeful@gmail.com. You can also comment on our platforms here on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page, Terminal Yet Purposeful, TYP, Terminal Yet Purposeful on Facebook. I try and update that a little bit more, and I see comments a little bit better on there than I do on YouTube. Sometimes my YouTube comments get hidden. I'm not sure why. I'm a little bit electronically challenged, technologically challenged, so that could be possible. But please feel free to always email or comment, and hopefully I can answer as much as I can. And I think I covered just about everything. I do have some chemo brain going on, so if I didn't, forgive me, and please remind me, and I'll address it in the next video. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.